Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Facebook Live. My name is Mona Fox. I'm the 2019 ATHENA Leadership Award winner, and I have the privilege of talking to some of our 2021 nominees this year. And today I'm at Bone & Joint and joined by Linda Ramthun, who's aspiring to become a new leader here at Bone & Joint. So Linda, tell us a little bit about your new venture.
Sure, thanks for having me, and first of all, I'd like to just thank the person who nominated me. Thank you so much for that nomination, and that I just wish everyone well who else has been nominated. It's quite the honor to have that within the Wausau community. So I am recently going to be starting a new position at Bone & Joint as the administrator of the ASC, Ambulatory Surgery Center, and Surgical Services. So I'm very excited to continue with my leadership here at Bone & Joint.
And amongst everything going on with COVID, I'm sure that that position is more important than ever. Leadership in the medical community is more important than ever. Can you talk a little bit about your leadership history and what got you to this point, and maybe what you think got you nominated by that mysterious person?
Sure. I think a lot of it had to do with just really remembering my roots within healthcare. Looking back, I was a CNA way back when in high school, and then I continued to work in different aspects of the healthcare organization, which led me to ultimately becoming a leader. I think I relied on those past experiences that I learned and really remembered those people that I worked so closely with at the ground level. And remembering that in leadership, that it's not about you as being the leader, but it's about your team and your people. And I've always said that, it's all about my people. So as long as you can remember and keep that focused, I think that's the key to being a good leader.
Yeah, absolutely. And so it sounds like you've probably had opportunities to advocate for other leaders, especially other women in this industry and in the places that you've worked. Can you talk a little bit about maybe the women you've encountered and if any in particular that you've helped to advocate for?
Sure. There's quite a few, especially working in a large organization that I've had in the past. There's many different skill levels, and I think it's important to always just believe in a person, even when they're not believing in themselves, and just really helping them to grow. You need to be able to allow them at times to fail, but to be able to be there and pick them up. It's not about micromanaging in a leadership role. It's really about being there, supporting them. And again, believing. So I think it goes back to a big project that I was put on as first as being a director. That was my role at that time. And it was trying to increase efficiencies within a hospital.
Oh boy.
Working with
just
providers.
A small project, right?
Just very small. And I remember my task was, first of all, preparing your team, bringing which team members you want on board with that.
Right.
It would have been very easy to pick and choose those people that were really in support and really wanted to make that change. However, I think it was really important to bring those maybe negative people on board to really find out what would be holding them back from being able to step forward and to make the change. First of all, one of the biggest things I started as a director in that role, really simple, because we've always done it that way, with a not sign through that.
Right, big strike out.
That was, I think, what I really used to help move things forward, especially as a new leader, is asking everyone, why do we need to make this change, making sure they understood the reasons behind it, but then how can we make that change? What are some ideas? And many times it's like, well, why are we doing that the way we are doing it? And many times people would come up and say, well, it's just because of the way we've always done it that way. I said, but why? And you continue to just keep pushing those questions to ask why until you got to a dead end, until you couldn't figure it out anymore. And then it's like, okay, let's come together, let's brainstorm. You know, what are some ideas, whether it's off the wall or not? Some positive continuous process improvement techniques that I learned was able to really move things forward, and we were really successful and increasing some efficiencies and bringing things back to the baseline of just basically following policies but having the support and giving those individuals the power to make that change and just being there with. So it was really, really powerful.
Sounds like it.
To this day, I always like to refer back to it just because we've always done it that way. It's
Sure.
really the way to go.
Sure.
So.
Well, to our viewers, we always like to ask the Athena nominees about a time that they were especially courageous in their career. So I heard, let's see, in high school you were already CNA, so that was courageous to do that, and then courageous to get into nursing, correct? And then courageous to take that first project role, and then courageous to push back the naysayers and to invite them to be part of your committee. Courageous to wear that button, because there's probably people who did not like that button. But courage is such a big part of Athena, and especially for women who sometimes are intimidated by that. Can you maybe just talk a little bit more about what gave you the ability to be courageous, the inspiration to be courageous, either or whom maybe helped you to be that way?
Sure. I think as a leader, you need to be courageous day in and day out. But I think it always came down to me for speaking up and being courageous was doing what was right for my people or my team. And at times that was very difficult. But I think within the last few months, the time that I really needed to be courageous, which led me to changing my position, was that I was faced with an issue about my values and where I stood with that.
Wow.
And a lot of it had to do with regarding policy. And I actually had to step up and step away from a position I had in the past based on my values and doing what was right and really standing up. Just for everybody involved. I've never not had a position at a job, so that was really difficult for me to walk away and not have that next career ladder move. So it was just stepping up and doing what I felt was right without really having something back to fall upon.
Quite a risk that you took.
Really a risk, but I hope it really stood out and really let other people know to really go with your values, go with your beliefs.
Yeah.
You can't be a leader who you're pretending to be. You need to be yourself.
What a great message you sent to your team and really the whole health community, especially when there are a lot of political things going on right now, to really stay focused, to stay to your core values and to live them is really a powerful message that you sent to women and men, but really for all employees to really look at themselves and what they value. That had to be a very scary, but also very humbling experience. I would imagine very surreal to take that step.
Absolutely, it just really gave me some time. I was able to just had a small time off. It was just 2 months, but really to look at where I wanted to be, where I wanted to grow. Do I want to continue in the leadership? Do I want to continue in healthcare? And I became a nurse way back when, just because I wanted to be there, because I really care about people. And I just really wanted to make sure I could continue with that and move forward. So again, it always is about the people. If it's not specifically people that you're leading, but always putting it back to the patient. Are you doing what's best for the patient?
Sure. And now you have that opportunity again. You're going to be formulating a new team, coming into one that's already established, but probably over time getting an opportunity to add some of your own people and to show them the type of leader you are. What are some of those first things you're planning to do in sort of that first 30 days? What's part of your leadership recipe? I know you haven't been in a new job in a while, but I'm sure you've had some time to think about it. And what are some of those things that you're going to do from the beginning?
The first thing I want to do is get to know the teams, get to know the people. Everybody runs an organization a little bit different, so I need to get to the roots to find out how things are led around here. But also those positions that I haven't had in the past, I need to get to learn those. Again, if I can't understand the role that my employees have, how can I help them? How can I make things better for them.
Sure.
So I'm just really looking forward to just putting my feet on the ground and going with it and just embracing the new challenge, and very excited to be here.
Sounds exciting, sounds fun. So last question is, you're thinking about that new team that you're gonna be standing in front of. If you could think of just maybe one trait or value or message you would leave them with in terms of leadership, what would be the thing that you would share with those aspiring leaders?
I would just really tell them to believe in yourself. Believe in yourself, go back down to your values, remember why you went into healthcare, and just walking by their side and giving them the encouragement and being compassionate.
Wow, well, if anybody can teach leadership and courage and empowerment, it sounds like you can. So
thank you so much.
best of wishes to you in your new role.
Great, thank you so much.
Sounds great.
Well, thanks to both of you. We will continue these finalist videos. We have 2 more scheduled for this afternoon, so I invite you that are out there watching to keep an eye on our Facebook page, because we will be continuing these all week. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.